Today on Match Play, host Ray Adams goes head-to-head with the king of Ping golf equipment, Allan Solheim.
Hit it, hit it!
Well, welcome to Match Play today with Ray Adams, and I am so happy that you're with us. I can't tell you how long this one has taken. Today I'm proud and pleased to welcome my brother, not real brother, but my brother in the faith, fellow Baptist we are, Allan Solheim.
Thank you, Ray.
From Ping Golf, and he's one of the owners, the executive staff, and of course advises and works in every level of the company for all these years. And I thank you so much for being with us today at the beautiful Mountain Shadows resort that's hosting these shows. And Kent Chase, my buddy for 20 years, great to have you back on the set again.
Thank you, Ray.
And I know you played with Ping clubs in your early years and
Yes,
still
I
to
did.
this day. And we're going to talk all about you and your teaching and what's been going on with you lately and everything. But I do have to say thanks for this beautiful resort. 1959, I remember coming here in the 60s as a little boy with my dad and mom, and you never knew what movie star you were going to see as you came through this golf course and this beautiful resort. They have so many things. It's been all newly built. The culinary award-winning, and the rooms floor to ceiling are mid-century, meeting contemporary. Just a beautiful place to be, stuck right here between Mummy Mountain and Camelback Mountain. If it got any better, Allan and Kent, what
Yes,
would they
this
do?
is
How would we
beautiful.
cope with it all? And then the be-all to end-all is the short course that Forrest Richardson has completely renovated and redone with all of the team here. What an unbelievable, beautiful place, and we want to thank Mountain Shadows Resort for hosting us today, and let's get right to it. Tell me about Allan Solheim. Tell me a little bit about growing up with that, well, in a historic family.
No. Well, I think in growing up, I think probably the main thing you want is the getting into golf, and it really happened when I was in high school. I was working after school for a municipal golf course, Palo Alto Municipal Course. Pat Mahoney, my pro, my father had come to pick me up, and Pat told him, "You really putted good." He had practiced putting. Well, he was waiting for me, and he said, "Well, you should have seen the way I putted before I made this putter." And he explained how he had put weight out on the heel and the toe, and it takes more inertia to twist. And Pat told him, "Well, I'd like to sell a putter like that. Could you make some more?" And it was within 24 hours he had the prototype that we actually went into production on.
Now we're talking about Karsten Solheim.
Uh-huh.
And this is your father from Norway.
Yep.
A very, very, very man of strong Christian faith, and he ran his entire life, family, and company by way of this faith, you told me. And we know all of this today as Ping, and a global influence in the game of golf, not only on the tours, but in the history of the game now, and there's so much we're going to get to. Let's go back to those years when your father, Karsten, who was an aerospace engineer, was working for General Electric,
Yep.
I believe in New York, and then to California, and then ultimately here to Phoenix.
Correct.
Take me through that.
Yeah.
And he was in his garage because later in life, I think around 40 or 42 years old, he had been invited to play golf with some of the guys, and he went and played and wasn't very good, and he said, well, maybe I can put my engineering expertise to this club, and we can change how I play by way of the physics of the club. Start there and take me through it.
Okay. As far as in New York, he made that putter with heel and toe weighting, and he played with it for like 5 years before Pat Mahoney said, I'd like to sell a putter like that. So it was really an exciting time to know that he really wanted to come out with something himself, and the golf club was just a real natural.
And so when he was in the garage tinkering, and I know your father was known to draw everything out, and as a matter of fact, I believe that the answer putter was first sketched out on the back of a record, a 78 RPM record jacket.
Album. Yep.
Isn't it, what unbelievable?
And matter of fact, I think the song, it was a sleeve that I handed him from a record, and it was just white. And I'm not positive, but I think it was "It Took Dreams," the name of the song.
Oh my goodness gracious! And when he finished milling and creating this putter, he called it the Answer. And the reason why that putter was called the Answer was what?
Okay, the Answer came after the original 1A, but the reason he called it the Answer, he was looking for an answer to putting, and he actually designed it before he had the name for it, and my mother came up with the name, and the next day, as far as he said, that's not a good name, besides it's too long, it won't fit. And my mother said, well, drop the W, and then it fit, and Answer it was.
So there's the Answer, A-N-S-E-R, maybe one of the most famous putters in all of history, and he took that putter, and in 1962, that putter won on the PGA Tour.
Okay, it wasn't the Answer. That was
not the Answer?
The Answer came out in 1966.
Okay, I got my dates wrong.
Yeah.
So what was the putter that won, the first ping putter that won out there?
Okay. I believe that was the 5A or B5. I'm not certain.
Did the name ping, was the name ping already there because of the pinging sound when the metal hit the ball?
Right. The first, you can think of two popsicle sticks and two sugar cubes. Karsten would use that illustration for how he made the putter.
Okay.
And it was the 1A, and he didn't know that it was going to ping. It was like a tuning fork.
Yes.
And you could use it for a right-handed golfer or a left-handed golfer.
Don't go away. We'll be right back after these messages.
And now she thinks I'm an orthodontist.
Hey, Johnson, I heard your balls are making quite a fuss.
Well, the Duo is the longest and softest ball Wilson's staff has ever made. She's as soft as a baby's elbow.
Soft is for ladies and slow swing speeds.
Oh, then slap my skirt and call me Sally. Let's do this. Drop. Wilson Staff Duo. Long off the tee. Softer on the green.
Golf. Yeah, you love it. But we all know just how frustrating it can be. That's unless you were born with a golf club in your hand. The Legacy Golf Performance Center is a virtual golfer's paradise designed to take your game to brand new heights. Yeah, that high. Our certified and friendly professional staff utilizes all state-of-the-art golf technologies to help get you swinging and putting just like a pro. You got that right.
When you have a craving for south of the border, there's only one Mexican food restaurant that can scratch your itch. Señor Taco. With 10 convenient valley locations and dozens of delectable dishes to tantalize your taste buds, using the freshest ingredients in their old world recipes. Señor Taco. Mexican food as it should be.
You're a golfer because you golf. Golfers carry a lot of stuff they need, like your rangefinder, your cell phone, your dog. Okay, maybe not your dog. What you need is a secure organizer. What you need is the Range Gripper. The Range Gripper grips, secures, and protects all your important golfing electronics. Now that's cool. The durable Range Gripper also comes in a variety of awesome colors. Grip, secure, and protect all your important golfing electronics with the Range Gripper.
And now back to more match play with Ray Adams.
All right, so we know that a ping putter won in 1962. In years later, around 1966 or 67, this is when your father took the answer putter, though, for sure, and went to what was then the Phoenix Open at Phoenix Country Club, and he showed it off to George Archer. He showed it off to, we know, Kermit Zarley. And they took a liking to this putter, and they went on with it and became Ping Golf Club players on tour, as well as many others over the years. And finally, in 1969, George Archer won the Masters using his Ping putter. Tell us those years. Those were great years for Ping, weren't they?
Yeah, they really were. George came in quite often, and the putter that he used was actually, there were two answer molds. The first one my father made, the second mold I made, and he won with the mold I made. So did Seve Ballesteros won his tournaments with the mold I made.
Yes. So you made those molds?
I made, it just had a little bit different rocker sole on the bottom, and then the back of the answer putter on the one I made, we call it the Dale head. My middle name is Dale. We didn't think Allan head would be a very good name. But it slanted more this way, where the one my father was made was more curved like this one is.
Well, you look at the world of golf today, and you look at the technology today. And I know there's so much talk about the ball and how far it flies and the shafts and of course it's never ending, the technology. What is your take from the Ping standpoint of golf technology today and how we're seeing not only tour players but also amateurs play the game?
And certainly the ball is going farther. There's things getting better, and they keep putting limits on things, and some of that is good. The one thing I like about when they put a limit on something, it gives us, all of a sudden, all of our engineering and everything is going off of that limit. What can we do within that's legal, you know? But it's not just the club or the ball, it's the players too. They're, Kent made it to the regionals in the National Long Drive, and he's only 5'8".
Best.
Kent Chase, our noted golf professional player and golf instructor with us. And Kent, you have been a Ping man from almost day one. Tell me about that.
Well, when we moved from Chicago to Phoenix, Arizona, Scottsdale, my dad got me involved in golf, and I was able to come up with a golf club. It was a Power Build Levelum is what they had back then. And I fell in love with the game, and then somebody actually let me borrow their Ping driver when I was a little kid. And for some reason it looked good to me, and it went further, and I thought, wow, I wish I could have these one day. Well, one day occurred, and it was with Allan Solheim, and I was at Moon Valley Country Club. He had asked me if I would like to teach there. He liked me. He's noticed that I was working somewhat with some of the tour players, like the people that we all know from the past, Heather Farr, sometimes Daniela Makapani, Teddy Purdy, those kind of people. And somehow he allowed me to teach at Moon Valley Country Club when I was still playing and competing. And he saw me hitting something that wasn't Ping, and he said, I think you should be playing the Ping clubs. He didn't say, I own Ping, and I own Moon Valley Country Club, and you're on my property, and I'm allowing you to teach her. You should be playing my equipment.
He just
said,
gave you the suggestion.
I think you should be playing, these are the exact words, the Ping clubs. And I thought, wow, yeah, but I really like these I'm explaining. And he said, no, I really think you, and I'm hitting them really pure, you know, I like what I'm doing. No, I really think you need to play the ping clubs.
So you did.
Well, that day he told me, you're going to go to my factory, and I got fitted for ping clubs.
So
and
you got all fitted out, which by the way, Ping was one of the first, if not the first, golf club manufacturing company to actually personally and professionally fit you with golf clubs. Isn't that true?
I think we're certainly the first ones to do it on a massive scale.
Okay.
And we build absolutely no stock. Our whole thing is fitting and building the club for the individual.
So take it from there, Kent. You switched over to Ping at that point when he suggested that to you, and you were at that point a budding professional. You wanted to be a tour player. You did ultimately play in some professional events and tour events. I believe you actually played in the Phoenix Open. Back in those years, it was known as the Phoenix Open. Tell me what your experience with Ping was over the next decades.
Well, the first tournament I played in with Ping clubs, I won, and I didn't even like the way they looked at first, to be honest. And that would have been probably 1985 or 6, something like that. And yes, I played in the Phoenix Open that year, and 3 times. And I took those Ping I2 beryllium copper clubs, and I was one of the first guys to use those, and played the Asian tour with those.
Yeah.
And I always loved Pings, or Ping golf equipment, but somehow along the line, I don't remember why, but somebody gave me a pretty good deal to play their clubs, and I played them. And somehow, the story is really a long story, but to make it short, now I'm back with Ping, and I'm going to stick with Ping the rest of my life.
Fantastic.
Not a better
now,
club.
I know when they ask you to talk about Ping and you're doing speaking engagements, and that as of course Karsten and Luis Solheim, strong people of faith, and your family a Christian family, and your company a company of faith. Tell us very quickly, how do you explain it?
I would sometimes start off with that in the beginning God created man, and man created a golf club. And when God created man, he created him with a face, and man created a golf club with a face. God created man with 2 eyes, and man created his golf club called the I2. And God created man with a nose, and man created a golf club you could hit on the nose. And God created man with a neck, and man created his golf club with the neck, and a back, and a butt, and the butt's at the end of the grip, and his heel, and God created man with a heel and toe, and man created his golf clubs with heel and toe balance. And sometimes I would say that God created man a little controversial, and man created square grooves. But I would also say that God created man with a heart, and man created his golf club with a sweet spot, and the center of the sweet spot is in the heart of the club. I was telling that to some touring pros, and one of the touring pros stood up and said, if a golf club's got a heart, it's got to be cold.
A cold heart.
Don't go away. We'll be right back after these messages.
Introducing the Putting Stroke Teacher Training Aid.
The Putting Stroke Teacher helps the better player, the PGA Tour player, the pro that wants to get out on tour, because the first thing it's going to do is get these forearms lined up square and your shoulders lined up square. And that's the thing my dad and I worked on when I led the tour in putting, and it's the thing I'm constantly checking today to make sure that those are lined up. And that's going to really affect the path that the putter head swings on. Very easy to set up. You just take 2 pieces, stick them together, put it on the end of your putter, 2 little Velcro straps, and boom, you're in and you're ready to go. It's not big, it's very tiny. You can take it apart and stick it in your golf bag. Get the Putting Stroke Teacher and make more putts.
Order the Putting Stroke Teacher today. Golf Tempe. Come experience the award-winning golf at 2 of the Valley's finest public golf facilities. Top-rated Ken McDonald and Rolling Hills golf courses offer family-friendly tees, 7-day advanced tee times, full-service pro shops, restaurants, and more. Call Golf Tempe today for your next tee time. Golf Tempe. Affordable family fun.
The Sights and Sounds of Golf, brought to you by Mother Nature and the members of the Golf Course Superintendents Association of America.
Mother Nature provides the canvas. We help to make it a work of art. Brought to you by the members of the Golf Course Superintendents Association of America.
And now back to more match play with Ray Adams.
Kent Chase, you are a product of Teen Challenge. You are just ready to finish over a year's residential program. And there's always bad news before there's good news. And you know, Kent, I've known you for 20 years, and I've always known you to be not only a fantastic teacher of the game of golf, but a good man. But you fell into some problems, and you had an addiction. Tell me about that, because bad news then allows us to get to the good news. And the good news is what faith, whatever your faith may be, gives you and brings you. There's good news from our faith. What happened to you? What about Teen Challenge? And what about Ping's involvement in helping you recover?
Wow, that's a big question, but I'm really pleased to be here. I'm pleased to be able to tell the world what happened. But what did happen is my wife died. You know Joanne real well.
Yep.
And the mother of our 3 children. And it was a difficult time for my children and myself. And basically, to drown the pain, I guess you would call it, I really got into drinking alcohol.
Okay.
And it became pretty much a habit. Every evening when I got home from either competing in a golf tournament or running my golf academy or teaching in different places around the world, alcohol became a normal part of my life, and ultimately became a bigger part of my life where I would kind of get the shakes if I didn't have alcohol, which ultimately led to waking up in the morning and drinking alcohol to get rid of the shakes.
Now this ultimately cost you relationships.
Oh yeah.
It cost you work. It cost you some of your reputation. And ultimately out on the road driving, there were issues there with legal matters, correct?
2 DUIs, and the problem was they were super extreme DUIs. Admittedly and unbelievable, one of those DUIs was a super extreme DUI at 9 o'clock in the morning. So my brother talked me into admitting that I had a big problem, and I was gonna, basically if you get a DUI in Arizona, you're in trouble with the law. If you get 2 DUIs, you're in big trouble. If you get super extreme DUIs, you're going to go to jail or prison or something.
For a long time.
Something's going to happen. So what happened to me is I was going to go to prison for 2 years. That was about the best thing I could do, plus other scenarios where you have to do your interlock device to be able to drive a vehicle.
How did you avoid prison time and get to Teen Challenge?
Back to Rick Casto, my brothers talked me into just going and staying and relaxing at this vacation-like atmosphere at Teen Challenge. Rick Casto and them got together and figured out a way to get me to go ahead and commit to going there, which I did.
You got in the program. You've been there now for well over the year. You've been there for the 13, 14 months.
And the faith-based program does some amazing things too. You actually learn about God, you become a believer in God. I don't know how you can get through the 13 months without knowing that God is the reason you're even living. And
they teach you how to live a life without alcohol every day. They teach you, you learn all over again the basic skills and fundamentals of life without alcohol, correct?
Yes, and with that 13-month program, I still had to serve time in jail. My jail sentence ended up being in prison in Florence, and I got down on my knees on July 4th and said, God, take over my life from here on. It's not me being in charge of my life. I'm letting it all go, letting the past go, and I would like you, and I would like to serve you. And then starting at that point on July 4th, inside of a prison, I saw fireworks in the prison. It was the most unbelievable experience I ever had in my life, And I knew then that there really was a God.
Alan, we know you weren't drinking there
Yep.
for sure, so this was an event that changed your life. You then went into the Teen Challenge program. I understand you're ready to graduate in just a few days as the first professional athlete, Alan, in Teen Challenge history here in Phoenix to go all the way through the residential program. Talk about Ping's involvement with Teen Challenge and with athletes like Kent.
Well, we're basically...
Because Kent's not the only one that's had this problem.
Yeah, he's not. And, you know, I think it's been over the years with us with Teen Challenge. We helped buy the building that they're in now. But there's so many great stories of people that have gone through and how they've turned their life around, and they're helping mankind instead of hurting.
Kent and Alan, I'm going to give you both the last word very quickly. Where do we go from here with not only the Ping Company, but this great game of golf? Where are we going?
Well, I know I'm going to play Ping the rest of my life because I have the most forgiving God and I play the most forgiving clubs.
Alan, where are we headed with golf and Ping and all the things you do in the community? What should we look forward to? Where are we headed?
I mean, we're headed for... Boy.
I left him speechless.
Yeah.
I have a Solheim speechless.
Oh, I guess that's probably just like my father didn't become a missionary because of speech. That my knack is more in engineering and things too. But
you're going to continue to work in this community, help this community, and keep being a global impact in golf, I bet.
Yep, and as my father would say, trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways, acknowledge Him, and He will direct your path. So we're looking for God to direct our path.
All right, it's Ping Golf, and it is Kent Chase and Teen Challenge, and all of that together to not only entertain you and inspire you, but to educate you and to help you. Thanks for being with me on Match Play today, Allan Solheim and Kent Chase.
Thank you, Ray. Thank you.
I sure hope you had as much fun today as I did. It's always such a joy to get to know these talented men and women professionals who make this wonderful game look so easy. They're not just fantastic golfers, though. You know, they're great people, too. Until next time, for all of us here at Match Play, I'm Ray Adams, wishing you long drives and long lives. I'll see you on the first tee. Many blessings.
Golfers, tired of getting your grip wet every time you drop your club? Keep your grip dry with Grip Dry. Just snap it on and your grip is safe from wet grass and sand, even toxic chemicals and fertilizers. Picking up clubs is even easier, and with clubs up and in plain sight, you'll never lose a wedge again. Grip Dry comes in lots of colors to choose from and can even be customized with your name or logo. Only $9.95 for a pack of 3. Order now and we'll double the offer with a second pack free. Elevate your grip, elevate your game with Grip Dry. Go to gripdry.com and order now.
You're a golfer, because you golf. Golfers carry a lot of stuff they need, like your rangefinder, your cell phone, your dog. Okay, maybe not your dog. What you need is a secure organizer. What you need is the Range Gripper. The Range Gripper grips, secures, and protects all your important golfing electronics. Now that's cool. The durable Range Gripper also comes in a variety of awesome colors. Grip, secure, and protect all your important golfing electronics with the Range Gripper.